You're an ice tray kind of girl, and I'm looking for a ice machine kind of wife. Hello, and welcome back to the Friday Feels episode of the UA Podcast. I'm Jordana Abraham.
And I am Jared Freed. It is so good to be back here with you, Jordana. We love a Friday Feels episode. We are the dating podcast, your dating friends, your weather vane of the dating world, the open, honest conversation that doesn't really get had. You know, this is I've been saying this since the beginning. This is a comfortable space for uncomfortable conversations.
Indeed.
I'm probably more honest here about dating than I am anywhere in my own dating life.
Same. It's a little embarrassing.
It's a little embarrassing
Yes.
to have like a woman ask me a question that I have like a whole rant ready to go. I'm like, oh, you can go to episode this.
www.
There's a podcast for you to hear my
yeah.
whole answer. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how are you? How are you feeling?
I'm good.
Tell
Well,
me how you feeling.
I'm feeling okay.
It's the end of cuffing week here at Betches Media.
It's the end of cuffing week. I actually think this is the begin. This is the end of cuffing week and the beginning of the fuck it. It's the end of the year season because it is the Friday before Thanksgiving. So next week is bullshit, and then it's basically Christmas. So
holy fucking shit!
Right? This is like the last day of like real work is being done.
Right. Next week is our Thanksgiving lightning round, where we take quick questions about the Thanksgiving holiday season. So make sure you tune in on Wednesday or Tuesday if you're a benefit subscriber. Yeah, this is the beginning of like, get out the, like if someone said to me, like, let's have a hot toddy, I'd be like, abso-fucking-lutely.
Right.
Why
Doesn't matter what
wouldn't I?
time it is.
Yeah, time, space, nothing exists. You know, you're going to go home this week. You're going to eat like a pig. You're going to see your parents. You're going to...
If it hasn't been done, it's not getting done until next year.
Yeah, this is the end. The year's over. Happy New Year.
Yes.
So happy New Year from us to you
New
at
Year.
the UA Podcast. What's going on with the house? How's the house looking?
The house is good. It's coming along. There's a lot of people there every day, so it doesn't.
You got a
feel,
whole construction crew.
Got a lot of people doing
Right.
some smaller things, but it can be loud. But the big issue is that our doorknobs have not come in yet.
No doorknobs.
No doorknobs.
So they're just
So-
holes?
They're just holes in the doors, waiting for knobs.
So you're living in the
can't
middle of the woods
lock
with
a door.
just doors open. Come
Doors
on
are-
in.
Well, yeah, which is like, if it's just Mike and I, it's fine. But during the day, if I'm home, it's like, I gotta go to the bathroom. There's no
Oh, and even the
knob.
bathroom doors.
No, yeah. None of the doors have knobs.
This sounds
So I'm back
horrible.
in the asylum.
Yeah,
Just
this
with
is.
a different name.
I
Yeah.
mean, what do you do? How long are we going to be
You just
knobless?
you just gotta pray that no one walks in.
Right. But also people
the
can
knob
look
sure-
in. It's like, you know, when you go to like a public restroom and people look through the cracks. I hate those people.
Oh, who does that?
That's a
What
big.
monster does that?
If you're using a bar like a.
To see if someone's in there.
Yeah. When I go to a
You gotta
public
look.
restroom,
You gotta look under to see the feet.
I don't even look. Push on the door.
You push.
Push on
Light
the doors.
Is
If
that,
it's
isn't that more
locked-
aggressive?
No, a little touch. I'm not
Touch?
I'm not
like
like
a knock?
punching it.
A little knock.
Not even a knock. Just like I'm.
Just to push to see
I'm-
if it goes.
If it opens, then
Well,
there's
the
no
worst
one in
is
there.
Sometimes it opens and there is someone in
Well,
there.
then I get
that-
mad at
that
them.
hasn't locked it correctly.
Yeah, I hate that person.
Yeah.
Makes me hate them. You did this to me. You
Yeah.
brought me.
That's the most awkward situation of all.
There was a lock that didn't work at the bathroom here at Betches.
For a while,
I
yes.
just avoided that bathroom. I didn't even go near it.
We had to shut down the whole bathroom.
But before it was shut down, I'd walk away. I was like, I'm not getting involved
I mean,
with
is there
that
any?
toilet.
That's like sort of like an ageless, timeless, embarrassing thing for someone to walk in on you and you say, "I'm in here."
Absolutely, the most.
Someone here.
Any age.
Yes.
That doesn't matter.
Gender, age, whatever. You gotta,
All
like,
spectrums, all
your
all
body
backgrounds.
tenses up.
Right.
Try to hide your genitalia.
No, it's really the most unfuckable look. Ah! Pants on your ankles.
I'm in here. Well, now you know I have
I'm in here. Yeah, that's
until I get my locks on the doors. That's what I have to say.
You got a whole
when
life like this.
Yeah, when Mike comes upstairs, I'm in here.
that is your husband.
Yeah, I like. We're in a bathroom door closed relationship.
That's what type of. That's how it works over there.
I prefer. Yeah, I like to keep. I said this before. I like to keep some mystery. I don't think we need to know every single thing that goes
Oh
on.
no, I like a girl.
Door.
I like to when I take a shit, sit on my lap, tell me a story while
Really?
this is going on. Yeah, no,
You're like open door. You take.
I'm not
you
an
take,
open
in a
door.
relationship. You take an open door shut.
no, I close the door.
Okay.
I close the door you know, it's funny, like a little different than the conversation we're having now, but like, you know when a shower doesn't have a door, and I'm always like, it's colder in here somehow. Like I want a door shut when I shower. I want a door shut when I need the bathroom door shut when I shower. Like it feels uncomfortable to have the bathroom door open.
Even if you're home alone.
Right. Even so.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
It's like one of those things where
you feel exposed.
I need to be closed off. I need to be in my little hut.
Yeah.
You know? I don't like when a shower has no door. Brutal.
Like when you mean
like, when it has like half a glass and then it's open on the end.
Oh, okay.
I hate those.
Yeah,
showers.
you feel exposed.
What about exposed? Feels cold.
What about the shower curtain?
I'm okay. Give me a curtain over a half a glass.
Over a half glass?
No, a half glass. Nuh-uh.
I prefer.
What type of shower are you guys gonna put?
There's a few showers. They've got glass doors. They got glass doors.
There's a few showers.
They've got glass
okay.
Door, yeah.
What do you? What does the butler's shower look like?
Glass door.
Glass door.
Even the butler's glass.
So you
door.
can shut it. Is it a shut or a slide?
One of them is a slide, and the rest of them are a door. I do get grossed out by curtains. I've had curtains. I just had a curtain in my apartment.
New York City.
Yes.
You're probably gonna have curtains.
That was one thing I was like adamant about. I was like, no curtains. I need
Is
glass.
that that's one of the? Is that making it to you?
Huh?
Like there's certain comforts of life where I'm like I've made it. Like I'm a
glass door.
Is glass door in a shower like one of the like you're like well,
Mm-hmm.
I gotta have glass doors. I don't want curtains. I'm done. I am above it. Like, do you know what I'm talking about? Like for me, like an ice machine.
Right.
Like good ice is like
washer
making
dryer
it.
in the city is in the city making it. I feel like is in apartment washer dryer.
One time I was dating someone and I said to them, this was years ago. I was dating this girl and very nice, and I said I'll know I've made it when I have an ice machine, and I made this like I might have told this story.
I don't think
here.
so.
I was like, I know I've made it when I have an ice machine. I had told her that, and it was kind of like something I would say, and then I was like, I gotta end this relationship. I'm like gonna end it.
Why?
And
that's separate from the ice.
Years,
okay, having nothing to do with the ice machine.
Nothing to do with the ice
It was
machine.
standing in the way of your ice machine dreams.
Yeah.
I'll never get to where you're an ice tray kind of girl, and I'm looking for a ice machine kind of wife.
Well, that was it. That's the speech I gave her. I said, "Hey, ice tray bitch." Yeah. It was around my birthday, and I was like, I gotta end this thing. Like, I don't think I'm not in.
Yeah.
And I went to her apartment to end it with her. I'll never forget it. And it was outside. We're like sitting on the stoop outside, like having this talk.
Amazing for anyone who passes by.
Oh my God. Best night of their lives.
Right.
Well, what happened next? I said, we kind of get done with the breakup, and we're both not well. She's crying more than me. And
I couldn't imagine it the other way around.
So, but we're all, it's a sad moment. And I get, she's like, okay, well, I have this gift for you.
Oh no.
And I go, a gift? And she goes, I got you something for your birthday, and I can't have it in the apartment. And she comes down with this huge box.
I would have thrown it out.
It's an ice machine.
Oh.
It's like the most sweet
And you had
gift.
talked about this before.
I'd mentioned it before. It was like the nicest gift. I like look at the
whole
whole studio's crying. Everyone's got tears running down their cheeks.
Do you ever think about that?
I think about it all the time because this is crazy. She lived in the middle of the street. Like, like in New York, it's avenue, and then street that connects.
Did she live on an avenue?
She lived in a street. So it was in the middle of a New York City street that like had like it had a little bit of a walk to the avenue. So she's like, just take, and this is like kind of pre-Uber really. And she's like, I don't want it in the place. I go, no, I can't take this gift. She's like, it will remind me of you. I can't have it in this apartment. So she gives me this big box, and it's an ice machine.
A little manipulative. Okay, go on.
Well, it's the first, we're having the breakup. Of course.
Okay.
She's like, maybe I'll see you again. I'm sure.
Right.
So I get this box. So now I like hug her goodbye.
They're heavy.
Ice
machines are heavy.
Heavy. So I'm carrying this. So now it's just this girl crying on a stoop and me like grabbing this big box and walking
to the
avenue. And I'm walking to the avenue and I'm like, I can't even carry it. It's so heavy. I'm taking breaks.
You're like sweating.
I'm like, all I want to do is get away from this woman that I just ended things with. And I'm like carrying it. The cab pulls, I hail a cab. The cab pulls up and like, he's like, he gets out of the cab to help me. I'm like, get back
like your
in,
luggage?
get back in. I'm like, I'll put it in the back. He's like, no, that's a big box. You got to put it in the trunk. and I put it, and it took forever to get out of there. I just have this
Do you
image.
still have it?
No, this was so long ago that it sat in my apartment. I
You
never
never used it?
never used it. I felt too bad about it. I never fixed it. And then I ended up throwing it away. It was like,
Wow.
yeah.
I guess that story got more depressing somehow.
Imagine walking into my junior 1-bedroom apartment. There's just this like random ice machine
Where's
that
that?
never got
It's
put
from a different-
together. I'm like,
That's so sweet and thoughtful, though.
it was the sweetest gift. It really was. Like, and yeah, I felt really
Do you have an
bad.
ice machine now?
Nope, still iceless
You
in
haven't-
Manhattan.
you haven't
That's my
gotten to
name
the-
on Plenty of Fish.
You haven't gotten to the dream yet.
Haven't made it. That's why we need more listeners to this podcast. Tell
So
a friend.
Jared can get his ice machine.
I need an ice
I know
machine.
I know it will make me feel like I made it. I want like a nice coffee machine that makes like
All the coffees?
That makes like all the coffees, not just like an espresso.
My brother and his wife got this for their wedding from someone, and they were like, they sent it to me. They're like, this is like the king of all coffee.
Do they like it? Is
They
it
love
easy
it.
to use?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to ask them.
Okay.
They seem to like this coffee machine that they got.
People
from
feel
someone,
very strongly
They
about.
said it's like the number one. Like,
Okay.
I'll send you
Ask
the
it.
information.
Send me the link if you're listening and you actually like know a really good one, but you're not like. Don't be weird. you know, don't just send one to send one.
Right. Have a
but
thoughtful opinion on this.
It's a major thing. So that's
Love
when
it.
I will feel like I've made it.
So get Jordana her coffee machine, and
Jared,
for me,
ice
come to my
machine.
show in Tulsa so that I can afford ice.
And you do like ice. You're a big ice guy.
I
Big
am
ice
like
guy.
ice and cup. Nothing I talk about is me putting on a show.
Mm-hmm.
This is me at my core.
Yes.
Ice, honestly, like I think of like what would make me happy. Very little.
Could you buy like a bag of ice?
No, get out of here.
You're
with
just
a
doing.
bag of
You're in the
ice.
tray. You're in the tray life. I hate
I
the
don't
trays.
like the trays.
The trays are awful.
I'm in tray life right now. This is how horrific my life
Cracking it,
is.
and then half the ice cube breaks off, and then
Listen,
you're
I don't
want to
get into the Betches offices here.
How does something happen to our ice machine?
I wasn't gonna say anything.
Were you not?
I'm filling up ice trays here. I feel like I work here.
You do work here.
I
you do work
Do I?
here. Not full
I
time.
work
but
here.
I
What's
mean,
going on?
yeah.
Where's my health insurance? Filling those trays. I'm the one filling it, and every time I fill it here, I go, "What am I doing?"
Half the office thinks you're the handyman.
I guess so. They're like, "Oh, that's the ice guy." He comes here and makes ice every time he's here. Yeah, because I like an iced coffee, and then I make an iced coffee here, and then I end up like going, "Jared, don't be that guy
Here's
who
the thing.
doesn't refill the ice tray. They're going to be talking about you."
I would have gotten you an ice machine for our anniversary episode, but I don't think you have enough counter space for it.
No, that's the thing,
I
right.
had one in my Upper East Side apartment before I moved to Long Island.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have an ice machine, and so we bought an ice machine. It took up the entire counter space. There was no counter space.
Listen, I know an ice machine has to make sense with your life.
Yes,
It doesn't make sense with my life right now. My parents have 3 ice machines.
3. Why would someone
We
need 3?
love ice.
The Freeds.
The Freeds,
love ice.
different shapes. One of them they had to turn
Nugget?
off because we got the nugget, we got the half
Wow.
moons, we got the
In case you had any questions about if Jared grew up rich, he comes from a home of 3 ice machines.
This isn't the pot calling the kettle black. 3 multiple showers in the butler suite.
Listen, I come from nothing. That's not true.
These
I'm sorry.
these ice is important to me. I like a big cup with a lot of ice. People who have no ice, it depresses me. It actually like
No, like people who eat.
coffee light ice. Get out of
Oh no,
here.
extra ice. That's why I
Extra
do
ice.
my cheap woman Starbucks order.
Right, big cup.
Grande
extra,
and
yeah.
an venti cup with extra ice.
Well, if you're going to be in Tulsa this
You're right.
weekend, I'm
In case this wasn't ribbing enough for you.
It's buy me some ice tour.
Yeah.
Tulsa, Oklahoma, Dania Beach, Tarrytown. We're taping a special. Already probably sold out. There might be tickets available. Very few though. Phoenix, Portland, Oregon, right after New Year's. So it'll be New Year's and then on a Tuesday, and then I'm going to Portland, Oregon that weekend.
Awesome.
What are you doing for New Year's?
Am I supposed to have New Year's plans already?
I don't know. It's
We're
coming.
recording this November 12th.
Are you going?
6 weeks.
You go to
Wow.
Thanksgiving?
What am I,
do you do? You go to
24?
Mike's
I
place?
have tickets to Axwell.
Never mind.
What are you
We'll come back
doing?
to it. I don't know.
Well,
I was asked if I wanted to do the cellar, and I was like, I don't know if I want to work and do shows.
Yeah, you deserve it.
Tuesday night,
Yeah.
I feel like I'll be happy in my comfy cozies.
You should go to Boca. What's the New Year's like there?
It's pretty
Miami?
good.
I feel like you should go to
I've
do
done
Miami.
I did Miami last year. Remember
yeah.
my big martini at the bar?
Yeah. Miami's, I feel like we've been to Miami like that week. It's like that's a great fun time to be there. I
a
say
great
that
time.
because I'm like, everyone from New York is there. So it's the best time to be in Miami.
Well, it's after the holiday season where like the kids are gone.
Right.
Like if you're there New Year's on a Tuesday, it's actually going to be like the nicest version of Miami.
Yeah, you should
I
go.
did it last year. I went from San Diego, flew to Miami. Yeah.
Maybe you'll do it again.
What
Maybe that'll be your tradition.
My tradition to drink alone at a bar. I was a little dressed up.
You had a good time.
I did have a good time. I had a really nice night. All right, let's take a quick break, and then we're going to get into a Icky or Picky.
All right, let's do it. Icky or Picky, the game, we say a scenario, we decide if the person is being too picky, it's not a big deal, or if the thing is actually quite icky, and they, rightfully so, can be judging the person.
Right, rightfully judgmental.
Yes. All right.
Like Jordana of my parents' ice.
I mean, I judge because I am jealous.
They turned off one of the ice makers because it was making too much noise.
Wow.
That's how. That was a sad
entitled.
this ice.
What a privilege.
They could, yeah, because
Yes,
they had two
because
other
they
ones.
could. Wow. All right.
Let's do it.
Dear J&J, I've been single for almost a year after.
It's my favorite bit.
You're giving jump scares to Candace. I've been single for almost a year after ending a long-term relationship, and you up has helped me get my confidence back in my dating life. That's why we're here.
Wow.
That's why we're here.
What a beautiful compliment.
Yes.
Of this show. If we're helping people get
have
their
meaning
confidence back. What
and
are we?
purpose.
Stella got her groove back. This is great.
Yeah, I love it. Recently,
Can you help me with my confidence?
or at least some ice.
Where's the payback?
I recently decided that it's time I get back on the horse, so to speak, and maybe find a friends with benefits. Okay. Who needs a sound effect machine in this podcast
I'm
studio?
Good.
And maybe find a friends with benefits in time for cuffing season. I found a guy on an app and we had some good banter going, so we met up for Netflix and chill type of hang. We met in public, safety first. Love it.
Now I'll suck your dick.
In an alley. I took a walk before going to his place. When we arrived, he told me to make is it still like a safe thing if you're like, we're meeting in public so that we can walk back to his place?
Listen, I'm automatically starting at like, if you're at Netflix and chill on the first date, even for like a hookup scenario, I think you're doing yourself a disservice.
Not doing it right, yeah.
I think even
if you've already met before.
Right, like go get a coffee, go meet, and like doing this ceremonial walk they're doing before going down on one another is like not really like.
I also don't think it's that much safer.
No,
than just going to their apartment.
Right. Take a walk before you go to the cage that I'm going to lock you in for the rest of your life. Like
yeah,
what?
It's like a false sense of security.
Right. I love.
We've been watching too many documentaries. When we arrived, he told me to make myself comfortable on the couch and left to his bedroom momentarily. When he returned, he had changed his clothes and was now wearing a Henley shirt and pants that I can only describe as long johns. As in,
gotta get my dick sucked costume.
I mean, it is like a fitted the man tights.
Right. Hey, let me change into something more comfy.
As in khaki.
This is my licking pussy outfit. Like
hot. Hot.
It's so crazy to get changed into long johns.
Khaki colored waffle knit slim pants with a cuff at the bottom. Not loose enough
Came
to
back
be
dressed as Scrooge McDuck, ready for bed. He's got a little hat with a pom-pom, silk pajamas.
On the first meet,
Right.
not loose enough to be a sweatpant and not tight enough to be tights. Any sexual chemistry I was feeling immediately retreated back into my body like the Homer Simpson hedge gif. Eventually, I settled in and made myself look past the pants, LOL, but it was a mediocre experience overall. I feel like I should have trusted my ick and bowed out when the long johns appeared. Is there any scenario where long johns are sexy? Is this a trend in men's loungewear that I'm unaware of? Sincerely, too cozy for comfort.
Okay. So the way she described them, they're basically like waffle joggers.
Yeah.
Is the description.
Is this a thing?
So you're describing like a waffle jogger kind of. Here's the problem. The line between jogger inside and jogger outside is very blurred right now.
Okay.
So
people wear them outside.
Well, you see people wearing casual wear. It's not as like.
Can you see the outline of the penis?
I would assume I would see some penis outline. Considering the way these are described.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to see that. on someone I just met.
If a woman put on like her, the female equivalent of this to me is like putting on the holy t-shirt that they wear to bed every night. That's like, crusting at the corners.
Right, which I wouldn't do on a first sexual encounter with
Right.
someone anyway.
Here's the problem. I agree.
First you lock them in and then you switch to that shirt.
You get to that shirt later.
Yes.
I think for this Icky or Picky, to me, he has matched the lazy vibe of the date.
The rest of the date, yes.
Right.
It makes sense within the context of the rest of the date.
Right. So like he kind of got everything he wanted. So it's like, I don't think it's like crazy of him to put him on, and I don't think it's crazy of her to be like, this is too
all of it's
lived
coming
in
together.
experience. Yeah. Listen, we don't know each other that well.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah. Leave some mystery. I agree. I think it's icky.
It's icky because I think it just matches the laziness with which he's done the whole date.
Put in a little more
effort.
effort.
Come for a walk down this weird street.
I'm at your apartment. Like, I'm already doing all the work here.
Right. I would think are these them?
Yeah, there's some penis outline there.
Which were those from?
It
Those
reminds
are the Skims?
It reminds me of like a ski pant, like a long john you'd wear under like ski pants.
I can understand how it would be good looking to someone. I think this is why this is a good Icky or Picky, because
I guess if you've got like a really hot lower body going on.
Right. We're looking at a picture right now of a guy kind of wearing these waffle joggers. Those look tighter than I imagined this to be.
I thought those were like women's pajamas.
I wouldn't wear that to bed. I have joggers that I would wear to bed. I'm envisioning the ones. I mean, we all do this. We live in the key of me. So
if you went to a woman's apartment, she immediately started putting on her jammies.
I think I'd be okay with it if we were both getting jammed up. I don't know.
But she's not. She's wearing her date outfit.
I know. No, I agree. It's icky. I think she was in the right. I think also you get like what you've gotten. Mm-hmm. To me, it's not surprising he went and was like, let me get into something more comfy.
I agree.
And then he's in his...
Icky. She says the experience was mediocre. If it were an amazing experience, you might be able to look past it.
Right.
Doesn't sound like that was the case.
Hookups need energy. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like a hot hookup is like...
Not like
heavy
tattered
breathing.
shirt.
Right.
Yeah.
But this to me, like, meet me at the street. We'll take a walk so it's safe. And then we'll watch a movie and I'll... flop onto you in my waffle sweats with my, half chub.
Totally
like
agree.
It all goes together.
I think that's that's why like hookups can be like sexy and exciting and fun or depressing.
Right.
Depending on the energy.
This went depressing right away.
Agreed.
All right. We're going to come back with an email. Great email coming up. We'll be right back. All right. We're back. We got an email. J&J, I obsessively listen to you both. Thank you for discussing the hard-hitting topics. I have a question that stumped the brunch table, so I'm coming to the experts. I've been single for about a year and have been really in my single and slutty era. But as cuffing season approaches, I'm ready to consider benching some people on the roster and settling in with someone I actually want to spend time with. There's one guy in particular. We've gone on 4 dates in about 4 weeks. Things feel really natural with him. We have a similar sense of humor, personality type, and we speak a couple times a week between hangs. Here's the thing. We had sex on dates 1 and 3, dates 2 and 4. He made it clear before the date he would need to call it a night early and insinuated we'd likely be parting ways at the end of the night and not having sex.
What do you sorry to interrupt. What do you think of the like beginning of the date I'm not coming home with you statement?
I've done it. I've had it done to me.
You're fine with it?
I kind of enjoy it.
Does it take like some air out of the date though?
I think what it does is like I think when I've done it, it's been to like let someone know, like to like keep expectations.
Okay.
It's a little protective, when I've done it. Where
Have you done it when you really like someone?
I've done it when I'm trying to figure it out.
Okay.
I think I want someone to know that I really am attracted to them, and that's why I'm there. I'm attracted to them. I like them. That's why I'm spending time with them. But I also don't want to go too far, whereas I'm making promises with my actions that I can't really cover.
Okay.
So it is protective of me and hurting someone's feelings.
Got it. But it usually is indicative of like a little on the fence.
Yeah. I would say
you're not like gung ho usually if you're doing that.
I would say you're like making decisions and you're trying to keep things in front of you instead of having to apologize for actions you've taken.
Yes,
right.
I agree.
I think it's, to me, the nice way of putting it to myself would be that I'm being a gentleman.
Right.
And I think
You're making sure someone doesn't feel insulted in the moment of, I'm actually going to go back.
Right.
now.
I don't want this to be a surprise. I'm happy to be there. Like, I don't believe people spend time with people just to waste their own time.
Right.
So everyone's getting out of
It's
this
almost better
something.
in some ways than if you said in the beginning of the date, it's like, oh, like I'm going into this, we're hanging out. I'm not like trying to get out of something.
Right. I want to get to know you. Like, honestly, I'd be more likely to cancel a date that I couldn't say that on.
Okay.
Like, I would be more likely to cancel the whole thing because I'm like, I'm still not sure why even go at all. So I think when you go and you're like, I'm just letting you know, like, I have to get home tonight and I don't want this to be insulting later. I don't want this to end,
Right.
create a bad ending to our nice night.
Yeah.
I think that helps it.
Okay. That's fair.
However, on the no sex dates, we hug hello and goodbye, but there is no kissing, very little touching. Is this normal? I'm so used to getting drunk and having sex on almost every date that I can that I can't tell. I'm so used to sucking every dick that comes my way. I'm so used to having sex on almost every date that I can't tell if this is a red flag or if he just enjoys hanging out with me and it doesn't always need to be sexual. I would prefer some physical touch, but maybe PDA just isn't his thing. Do I bring this up with him, or should I make the first move next time, or is this normal and I'm just not used to this more gentlemanly behavior? I'm 27, he's 29, we live in NYC for reference. Sincerely, confused by cuffing season. Okay, what do we think?
I'm interested in your take on this. I think like the no sex, not having sex every time is like fine and normal. I do think it's weird. There's no like, if it's like all or nothing.
Right.
Why would a guy do that? Would love your take
There's
on
a
this one.
spectrum of reasons. He could be dating other people and feel uncomfortable that he was recently with someone else.
But he slept with her like the next after that.
Well, dates 2 and 4,
Right.
dates 1 and 3. Maybe he was in a different. I'm saying this is like the most evil
I'm saying
version of
he
this.
goes back and forth though. It's not
Right.
like dates 1 and 2 and then dates 3 and 4.
I think this is like someone who's not sure.
Okay.
And I think this is someone who's in the moment. We had sex and then goes back and goes, do I really want to be with that person? And then like kind of takes it back and tries to take a step back.
Okay.
And I think you can do that. We talked on our last episode of like, just because you have doesn't mean you will.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe he goes through this like mental thing where like he has fun with her. They sleep together. They have a nice night.
And then he feels
and
bad.
then he
about it.
goes home and he goes, I don't know if I want to be in a relationship. I don't know if I want to be with this person. I need to figure that out before we go further. They go on another date. He's like, this will just be getting to know her and getting to know what the dynamic is. And
Right. And maybe to be like kissy and flirty still feels like you're leading someone on a little bit.
right. And I think he's like more in the zone of like, let me figure out if this is something that I want to like stay in.
Mm-hmm.
And this is someone who's confused about their own life. Like this doesn't have to do with the emailer. But it does because they're involved, because they're the other person that's in this scenario, So
Well, what do you think she could say to him to like get some answers here?
well, to me, this is his way of I don't think he's lying outright, but I do think this is his way of slowing things down.
Okay.
If you
You're not hot and heavy.
right.
You're not hot and heavy.
I'm
2 out of 4
cooling
times.
this off.
Yeah.
And for her, she's writing into us because she's like, wait, like, okay, I want to like go to step 2. Like
Right.
within this next step of
Or like she's feeling a mixed signal.
right.
She's feeling
this is the most mixed as
Yeah.
it gets. It's literally mixed.
Right.
If I were her to like, what would she say to me doing this?
That would get you to like be more open about what was going on.
Right. I guess I would want her to like kind of tell her intentions with this.
Okay.
I
not addressing the sex thing at all.
I guess you could be like, it's a little weird. I don't know. I guess I would want her to say to me, here's what I'm doing. Here's how I see this relationship. I'm benching my other guys to kind of concentrate on us. I like our hangs. I'd like to kind of see what the next thing, kind of holds. It's a little weird to me that it feels like we're in this holding pattern that is prompted by you, where there's like sex dates and non-sex dates.
Right.
I
it
would
feels
ask
all or nothing.
Right, and I would ask her where these sex dates are happening. She talks about getting drunk and like so she hints at drunkenness. Are the sex dates happening when there is just no caution of the wind? These are like less serious dates. Are they like
She
we
says
go
date
out-
1.
What?
Date 1.
So
she
day
said
1,
earlier.
they go out, get fucked up, they hook up.
Mhm.
Day 2, he comes back to reality. They try to have this more adult hang.
Right.
Date 3, they meet up, they get fucked up, they sleep together. Date 4, they're back in adult world.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this is one that tells. I think this matters, and it
Okay.
kind of sounds like that's what's going on. It's like
It's like a cycle of like regret and
right, and
and-
meeting up and hooking up is in casual land. Coming over and doing dinner together, that's serious land.
Mhm.
So the serious land dates, he gets a little bit more pushback.
Right. And I think she could say, like, I do feel like I'm getting a little bit of a mixed signal. This is what I'm looking for. Are you looking are you looking for, I think you say after 4 dates, like, what are you looking for?
Right,
Is the other person feel like it's headed in that direction for them or not really?
right. Listen, I've been in this scenario too many times to tell.
Where you would do
Where-
this all in and then all off?
Well, this idea of like I'm trying to figure this out on my end,
Mm-hmm.
and someone else's feelings are involved on their end, and they're like, "What? I feel like I'm getting you, but I'm not getting you
Right.
fully."
That can almost feel worse though. It's like, you know what I
Right.
mean? It feels worse to be like, okay, we had this like passionate moment and now I'm just here anxious about something ending. Rather than if you were just passionate about it the whole time and then it ended, it would almost be less stressful.
Right, right. I mean, I see eye to eye with that.
Mhm.
That's a feeling I have where you're looking at this, you're like,
If you're
You're
going to
kinda
be in, go all in.
right, and he's overthinking it.
Mhm.
He's thinking of and he's not thinking of like the sex part. It's not like I don't want to have sex. It's more just like I would say he's thinking like, okay, the next thing is the next thing. We got to like move forward.
Right.
Like this. We move forward. This isn't a text ending. This is an in-person ending. This is me with the ice machine.
So what? So do it.
Yeah, well,
Bring your
I
call an Uber to get your ice machine.
right. This is the difference.
Right.
We hung out 4 times and we only had sex when it was like
Either
wild.
way, you're going to have a conversation.
I know, and
That's the
I
thing.
think he's kind of like that's to me why he's waffling.
Right. I totally get that.
So.
Okay. Let's play a game of cuffed or casual. Our listener sent us some real situations and we need to decide if they're trying to get you cuffed, aka they want to take their relationship to the next level, or they're keeping it casual and just looking to have fun. And I'm asking you specifically, if you did one of these things, would it mean that you were cuffed, or could it mean that you are still casual? Does it not mean necessarily that you're being cuffed?
Okay,
All right, you ready?
let's hear it.
All right. Casually mentioned joining him and his married couple friends for dinner.
Casual.
Casual.
That is to me, you are no different before the dinner than you are after the dinner.
You would do this with anyone.
I would do this with anyone, but it wouldn't mean
You want to spend the winter with them.
right.
Okay.
Like, because my friends, again, and this might be very male, my friends are never going to be like, they're going to go, what happened with so-and-so? And I go, it just wasn't the match for me. And then we're going to move on.
Okay.
So the stigma isn't there for me.
Got it. Okay. They ditched a ski trip with friends to spend the weekend with me.
Casual.
Casual?
Yeah, that's
What?
not a big deal. That's not a big deal. To me, that is a
They're
self-telling.
foregoing. I would think both of these things were cuffed.
I think that's an easy thing to say.
Okay.
I'm skipping the ski weekend to be with you, my love, is like very easy and simplified. It could be that
So you
I
would
don't
do
really
this.
want to go to the ski weekend. We want to hang out. Oh yeah, I did it for you.
Okay.
Like I don't think that that's like definitely. I'm talking definitely. Like that's easy
Okay.
to say, and there's no actual thing to be lost by putting it in those terms. You can only gain
Got it. All right. I'm going to have to find a cuffed
Yeah.
one in here. Talk to their mom about me.
nothing.
Okay.
Listen.
Doesn't
Talk
give
to
a
your mom
shit
about
about
you.
you.
I've talked to my mom about like, oh, I matched with this girl. Look, check out this girl on Hinge that I matched with. I think we're gonna go out. Oh, she seems nice. Like
Okay.
I don't think talk to my mom about you. And also that is a thing. Again, I'm saying this is buyer beware. It's more for the person who's writing in.
Yeah,
They
of course.
they mentioned that they talked to their mom about me.
Is this a buy sign?
Right. This is to me, that is like someone who it could be serious. Again, all of these could be serious.
Right, but it
I'm
doesn't.
just saying don't put weight on it.
Okay, don't put weight. Their mom picks out gifts for you while they're in Europe.
That's more than casual.
Okay.
That's
a cuffing
the mom
sign?
That's a cuffing sign.
Right.
The mom
He's-
buying things for you
And he
while
tells
in
you about
Europe,
it.
and he's like, "Hey, my mom got some stuff for you." That is a mom who's involved, who's trying to create a relationship with this woman who
Right.
might be in their lives for.
And she wouldn't do that unless he gave, I think, an
right.
indication.
There would have to be an indication that.
All right, we got one, ladies.
Right,
Finally. If he goes to Europe with his parents and his mom is buying gifts for you, that's
right.
the one sign.
That's the one sign. It's
that
a
he-
little more serious. A
Yes.
little more serious.
Okay. Let's see. Mention their friend tried to set them up with someone else.
It's more serious than it was, but I don't really.
If they're like, my
To me,
friend
it
tried
could
to
go
set me
either
up, but
way.
I was seeing, we're seeing each other, so I didn't.
Right. Did you say no to that? Like,
I would assume.
well, my friend's trying to set me up. Like, to me, that's like trying to like. It could be manipulative.
Right. I guess unless they were like
And I
using
said,
that
I
as
wanna
a
be,
segue into
Right.
but I would like to be exclusive with you.
Right. Why would they be writing to us at that point? At that point, they should be like pumped they have a significant other, not saying, hey, they mentioned,
Right.
I
agree. Told me I could use his toothbrush the second time I stayed over.
don't think that matters at all. That's just a
It's a little
disgusting
gross.
person. That's just a person who
That's
like.
not a sign of
Right. That's a sign of bad hygiene.
We are one.
Right. I'd be worried about, make sure they're tested.
Okay.
It's like,
Forehead kisses.
nothing.
Nothing.
The forehead kisses. If they kiss you on the forehead, like that's nice.
Okay.
I
it's
can
not-
understand why that makes you
that feels
feel
more intimate.
good, but like to say
Right.
that
That
I'm
could be
like,
a move that someone would do with everyone.
even it could be something they just do.
Right.
Right.
That's
Like
what I'm saying.
move,
Yeah.
insinuates that it's like them being like manipulative. It could be that they just missed your cheek.
Yeah. All right.
Oops.
Brought me to his birthday dinner with just his immediate family, mom, dad, brother.
That's serious.
Okay.
Yeah.
So meeting them, not serious. Birthday dinner, serious?
Well, this
meeting
was
them-
the friends that we met.
Okay.
This is going to a birthday dinner.
Is this just for you specifically, or is this for...
No, this is ever. I would
Okay.
say going to a birthday dinner with the friends and family, you are introduced as this is my new girlfriend.
Right. But
That's-
how is that different than a couple's dinner?
The couples is like,
Double date.
we're just going with my friends. Like, I
Okay.
want you to get to know my friends. They're really cool. Like, that's a little bit more serious, but I wouldn't say that means like you two are like, to me, meeting my friends is more of like, let me see what this vibe is like. I'm going to ask them what they think.
Okay.
You know,
That's more like you're being kind of like tested. It's a trial run.
Right. It's a little trial-y. It's a
Okay.
little.
So on that similar note of the dinner, took me to an out-of-town 6-hour away family wedding.
That is cuffed.
Cuffed.
Yeah.
Okay. Even if you
The
need
wedding
I
stuff
guess
is tough.
I think if it's a family wedding, it feels more cuffed than
Yes.
than a friend wedding where you just
I'm
might
with you.
want a +1 because you don't know that many people. If it's your family, you should know enough people that you don't need to bring a date if
Right.
it wasn't a real thing.
The whole wedding thing gets a little murky because it's like the +1 is like, I'm bringing you because of the +1. I just want to go with someone. And people kind of like
And to a
live-
friends, I kind of get that.
Right.
Yeah.
I think the family one, it's like you're bringing them into a scenario where it's like,
They're meeting your whole family.
and you have to introduce them to people, and you're going to have an uncle you barely see be like that. An uncle only has one black and white way to look at you. Like
Right.
you bring a girlfriend to a wedding, the uncle's like, they're married.
Right.
Like
you're not introducing someone to your grandma
right.
unless they're...
So that's more cuffed than casual.
All right. Dating for 3 months, went home for 2 weeks and didn't tell his parents about me.
That's casual.
Definitely casual, or
You
is
go
there a
home and you don't
chance?
say a word about this person after you've been dating 2 weeks?
3 months.
3 months?
Yeah. Dating 3 months, went home for 2 weeks.
Didn't mention them to their parents.
Yeah.
That's casual.
It's over.
So
It's over. It's dead.
well, that's because listen, what's been going on with your life since I've seen you last? You are not in the first paragraph of what's going on in their life. That means
Right.
they don't really.
Yeah, that's true. They're not trying to. But also, even if they did mention you, it doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't mean
I've
anything.
had that
If they
too.
mentioned you, it doesn't mean
I've had
anything.
a guy
If
call
they
his
didn't
parents while I was there and say Jordana's here, and I was like, I am in,
No,
and I was not.
that doesn't matter at all. Right. Telling them is not that big a deal. Not telling them is a big deal.
Right. Okay. Fair enough. Okay. Came to brunch with my parents and kept telling me, I hope they like me.
I would say that's
That's a cuffed.
a cuffed. That could also be someone who just wants to
I hope
win.
they like me so that when I break up with you, they don't get very mean about me.
They care about me too and
Yeah.
my feelings. No,
Yes.
I think that's cuffed.
He wants to pay for everything every single time we go on a date.
Casual.
Doesn't casual or
It just.
oh, you're saying more? I would say doesn't mean anything, but you're saying more indicative of casual.
Oh no! It doesn't mean anything. That's
Okay.
more towards casual than cuffed. To me, the paying thing. I don't think when people kind of lean on the paying thing, you wouldn't want to be with a guy who leaned on the paying thing as much as you wouldn't want someone to relate paying for you to mean more. Do you know what I mean?
Kind of, yeah.
Like, if you went on a date and the guy was like, I paid for these meals, you got to come home with me.
Oh,
Like, you'd be
yeah,
like,
that
what
would
a
be bad.
fucking loser.
Right.
So I think it's a little bit gravity in that scenario where it's like,
I agree. It doesn't mean anything.
right. It doesn't mean anything like, oh, I paid for all these things so that we're more serious. Like, you wouldn't want it that way.
Right.
So why would you want it this way? I don't think you would want that to be the case.
Agreed. Okay, let's do one more. Ready? Okay, they bring you back a gift from a trip they went on 2 months into dating, and this was a work trip they went on.
I think that means it's more serious than it was.
Okay.
But
It doesn't have to.
It doesn't have to.
Again, I've had that one. Thought it was.
It could be that to me, if it's something that came up on your dates and then they're like, oh, I saw this and it made me think of you. That's nice. But I don't think that means like they're head over heels in love with you.
Right. But it's a good sign.
Good sign. And the fact that you were thought of is nice. But I just wouldn't put so much weight into it.
I agree. So the only things now that we're saying we can put weight into, his mom buys you gifts in Europe.
That's right.
He invites you to his family birthday dinner.
Mm-hmm.
Was there a third one? He comes to dinner with your parents.
Mm-hmm. And he wants to impress them and says that outwardly.
Yes. Okay. So it sounds like these things are like, at least for you, intimate family related gestures.
Would this be something that would embarrass him in the future? You have to think of stakes. Like, what is the incentive? Is to get out. You know, the incentive of guys dating and people dating is, I want to get out of here with no memory of me whatsoever.
Would be the reason why they wouldn't do cuffing worthy things.
Right.
Yes.
So the reason, when they do things that you're like, you have to wonder, will it really be a detriment to their life if they do this one thing?
Right.
So like, and I know this sounds bad, but people are personally motivated. So it's like everyone lives in the key of me. They're the star of their own movie. They want to get out of things. They want their life to be easier. Let's just stay at that.
Okay. So it's really about like entangling you in their life.
Right. So the idea of like, you know what? There's that ski trip, but I'm going to go with you.
Not embarrassing.
What is that even? At what point does that come back to
like
fuck
sacrifice.
him? Right. There's no sacrifice in that.
Sounds like he's made it sound like there's sacrifice.
And purposely so. I would say he wanted to be out of that ski trip anyways.
Right. Good excuse.
Right.
All right. Well, we did it. I think these were fun. You
Lots
guys
of
submitted.
fun.
These are great ones. We love a real life example.
Yup.
Okay. And next week we'll be back to talk about one of our favorite holidays, Thanksgiving Eve.
Or as some people, Candace, call it, Blackout Wednesday.
Yeah. She just upped the stakes.
I got to have a few more martinis that night, I guess. But yeah, we'll be back Thanksgiving Eve, the biggest bar night of the year.
Yes, we love it. Bye.
The U Up podcast is produced by Belle Roman and Candace Maniga. Edited by Belle Roman. Social media by Candace Maniga. Guest booking by Ali Friedlander. VP of podcast is Chris Allen. And be sure to follow You Up at u.up.podcast.